Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are going to be announcing a brand new short form series that's going to be on my channel, hopefully weekly, but we'll see if I can keep up with that. Now today's video is not a short, but all the future ones will be. And the reason it's not a short today is because I wanted to talk a little bit about what we're going to do. So this is going to be a brand new series, which is going to be no more than a minute. By definition, that's what shorts are. And it's going to be called the Mad Minute. Now, for those of you who are not as historically inclined, the Mad Minute was a sort of reference to a British Army marksmanship policy during sort of the bolt action rifle era, basically like think World War I or a little before, with the Lee Enfield being the British primary service rifle. They had a school of musketry and a training regimen that they claimed could allow every single soldier to fire 15 aimed rounds per minute. Now, that may not seem like rapid fire to a lot of us these days, especially with semi-automatic rifles, but when you got to work the bolt and when your gun only carries 10 rounds and you got to throw 2 stripper clips worth of ammo in at the end of reloading, 15 aimed shots in a minute is quite a bit. Again, and that's the key, aimed shots. I believe it was 15 aimed shots at 300 yards, I think, is what the policy was. But in any event, that's what the series is going to be called. It's an homage to the Mad Minute. And what the series is going to be is it's going to be a weekly news series that will show up on the channel. I have always enjoyed talking about war games, games that are being announced, sort of my thoughts on those games. And I don't do it a lot on the channel, but when I do, it seems to get a lot of traction. And so we're going to be doing this series because really primarily for 2 reasons. 1, I enjoy it. And 2, it seems to me like there is a lot of news out there for war games. Still, you may be surprised, but it tends to focus on text. So you've got like strategywargaming.com, but that's primarily a text-based site. You've got some coverage at places like 3 Moves Ahead or my podcast, Single Malt Strategy, in podcast format. Do I dare reference wargamer.com? Maybe not. But there are a lot of different text-based publications that will dip their toes in wargaming, like PC Games N has a strategy gaming section. More mainstream stuff will get covered by IGN even still. And so like there are, and usually there's press releases, Eurogamer announces stuff. Like if a game is announced, you will hear information about it. But there's usually only 2 ways folks, in my opinion, this is my experience, tend to hear about these games. One, they either see like a press release somewhere, be it on Twitter, be it on one of these websites that still covers gaming media in text, or be it a YouTube trailer that would be posted by the developer. You don't see a lot of news on YouTube for wargaming, maybe some in strategy gaming, but not a lot in wargaming. And so I think it looks like a lot of fun to try and cover that. And I think a lot of you'll hear for the first time about a war game when you're watching a YouTuber talking about it, when you're watching a YouTuber play it a lot of times, or whatnot. Like, not to say that the written word is dead, because I love reading and I would hate to see like journalism go by the way. But I do think that a lot of people spend a lot more time on YouTube and Twitch and all these other channels, and that's where they're looking to consume media. That's where they're looking to hear about things. And that's where the eyeballs are and the ears are. And so I figured, hey, why don't we do a quick 1 minute per week recap of gaming news and what's going to be going on. So that's what we're going to try and do. I don't know what the format's going to be. You know, shorts have this weird vertical things to look on your phone. Like, sorry guys, I'm not big into TikTok, shock. I'm relatively young, but I don't see the appeal in TikTok. That being said, that's what I'm doing here shorts are basically YouTube's ripoff of TikTok. So I guess maybe we should make a TikTok channel before it gets banned. Where am I going? I'm rambling here. This is why I can't do short form content. But in any event, I just thought it would be a good idea. Like, I'm still going to periodically say, hey, this game was announced and let's talk about it and share our thoughts. Hey, this game came out. Let's talk about it, share our thoughts. Here's some news that came out. Let's talk about it, share our thoughts. I'm still going to do that in longer form content. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to periodically, ideally once a week, just put a short little 1 minute out there and talk about like gaming news this week. So for example, this week is actually going to be a pretty damn big week in wargaming. First off, you've got Combat Mission Battle for Normandy, which is going to be coming to Steam. This is not a new game. It's been out, what, like 5-6 years, maybe more. It's made by Battlefront. It's part of the Combat Mission series. It's I believe it was the return to World War II after they did a bunch of modern stuff. So they did Shock Force 2, they did Black Sea, and then I think they returned to World War II for the first time since the previous generation of games, because this is on their newer, and I'm using quotes, game engine. But Combat Mission Battle for Normandy was always available through Battlefront's website. It was never widely distributed, widely published, or anything like that. It was kind of self-published. They've partnered with Slytherin to release Shock Force 2 and Black Sea on Steam. They're now going to be releasing Battle for Normandy. That comes out to Steam on the 28th of March. So that would be Tuesday. So that's some exciting news for folks who maybe haven't played it before because they didn't know about it or weren't aware of it, or maybe they just prefer to buy games on Steam. Another thing that's coming out this week, The Great War Western Front. So that game is coming out on the 30th. It's made by Petroglyph Games. It is published by Frontier Foundry. It's a new RTS World War I game with a grand strategy element as well, or not grand strategy, but a strategy element to it as well. I've played this game on the channel. I'm very excited about it. It comes out on March 30th for people who have not pre-ordered. So that is Thursday. But actually, if you've already pre-ordered, or I believe if you pre-order now or up to release, I assume, you get the game up to 3 days early. So the game will come out on the 27th if you pre-ordered. And so that's a pretty exciting game. And then one other game that we're definitely going to be coming out covering on the channel as well is another game that is actually coming out on the 30th. It is called Total Tank Generals. It's being developed by noobs from Poland and published by 505 Games. Again, this comes out on the 30th, and this is a hex-based, turn-based war game that kind of has some Panzer Corps 2 vibes. I haven't had a chance to play it, unlike the Great War game, which I played in the demo when it was on Steam Next. And then I've obviously played Combat Mission before. But I'm curious to see what Total Tank Generals looks like. We might end up streaming it a bit as well for release. It looks interesting, so that's going to be another game that comes out. So that's kind of like a sampling of some of the stuff you'll see. Obviously, me talking about these games, it lasted longer than a minute. Again, this is not a short, so that's fine. But that's kind of the level of detail that I would imagine I would dive into games. I'm not going to be talking ad nauseum about any of these games. It's basically going to be, hey, Combat Mission is coming out this week, The Great War Western Front is coming out this week, and Total Tank Generals is coming out this week. Other weeks we might be talking about DLCs that are coming out, but really the intent of the Mad Minute is to be a FYI for you, to allow you to go say, hey, I'm going to go check that out on Steam. I'm going to go, maybe search some videos for it. Maybe I'll go and just be aware of the fact that this thing came out without requiring you all sit down and listen to me talk for 15 minutes. I will still periodically do that for big gaming conventions and other things like that, and if there's news I want to talk about. But this allows you to kind of get a more straight to the news without things going too absurd. But that's obviously, we'll see how it plays out. And we'll start, I think, next week. Hopefully there's some gaming news next week. We may not do it every week if there's not news, but let me know your thoughts, guys, below. Is this something that sounds interesting? Is this something that you would like to watch, listen to, whatever? Because I think it's an interesting idea. I would like to do more news. Like I had thought, let's do a weekly, longer episode, almost like a podcast thing, but I just don't have the time to commit to that every week. And so I thought it would be easier to do a short video every week. Just to kind of, 1, dabble with shorts, 2, get you guys the news without causing you to commit to it for too long, and 3, hey, it's something different to try out on the channel. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. We've been going for almost 10 minutes, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave your thoughts below about the new series. Let me know if you're looking forward to The Great War Western Front, Total Tank Generals, or Combat Mission Normandy, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching.